let's talk for a moment about how to do these groups, because I just came up with an idea how to actually be able to show you this. So the students, so you go to organizations, you go to Spotlight Series, click on that. The students get a guest link. Now you can actually figure out what that guest link is. So you click on these three buttons, you go to the Edit Organizational Room Settings, and we're going to play with the brushing teeth section because they gave us that to play with, I think. You click on there, and then you can go here and say copy guest link. And then you copy that, and what I did is I made a couple of friends. So I made 3 different friends. So I have on 3 different browsers here, I have 3 friends, Joe, Lisa, and Nancy. And Joe, Lisa, Nancy, so this is Nancy because she sees Joe and Lisa. This is Joe because he sees Lisa and Nancy, and this is Lisa because she sees Joe and Nancy. And they're already waiting in this section room. They went in there with a guest link, and I'm being a little tardy, so I'm going to show up now. So I click on here, and I say join the session. And when I join the session, I will find that Joe, Lisa, and Nancy are already there. So there they are. And so now I'm going to want to put Joe, Lisa, and Nancy into groups. So I click on Share Content. I say Breakout Groups. Allow attendees to switch groups. And I want to stay in the main room. I don't want to go in a group. We're going to call the first group Rainier. We're going to call the second group McCain because we can. And we're going to say start. And then it takes a moment. I'm still going to be in the main room, but Nancy got shuffled into the Rainier room, and Joe and Lisa got shuffled into the McCain room. Now I gave them the option to change positions if they want to, right? If I click on that, what happens? Yeah, so I gave them the option to switch groups. So we'll see how that goes in just a second. But now I, as the moderator, I'm going to want to check on my students, right? So I can already see some stuff from the outside. I can see if they're talking or if they're muted. Now I muted them all because otherwise I'd get echo, right? But you can see who's talking and who's there. You can also see how their connection is and stuff. If they have a question, they can raise their hand. So let's say, for example, let's say Joe. So Joe's got to be, which one's Joe? It doesn't matter. Let's say one of them has a question, right? They can go raise their hand. And if they're, oh, that is Joe. And if they raise their hand, you can then see that Joe over here is raising his hand. So now I, as the instructor, I can go in there and I can go in this room. And I do this by going to this, to this door thing, right? So I click in here, I go to McCain, and then I'm transported into that room with the students. I can then talk to the students. The students have access to whiteboards. They have access to all of the things. They can share screens with each other. They can do all of that. And then can I lower his hand? Oh, I can lower his hand because I just took care of him now. Now, let's put myself, though, for a moment in one of their shoes. So let's put myself in Joe's shoes. And let's say Joe, who is in the group with Lisa and me at the moment in time, he realizes that he is in the wrong group because he needs to be in a different group. So he opens his Collaborate panel and he goes to where it says the attendees section. And right now he's in the McCain group, but he really realizes he needs to be in the Rainier group. So there's Rainier, there's the window, and he can just click on that, and that moves him to the Rainier group. So this is what happens. This is what it looks like on their end when they get moved from place to place. And so when I go back to my own self, which is this, I can then see that Joe is now in the Rainier group, and I am just with Lisa in the McCain group. I can go back to the main room. And again, I can watch them do what they're doing. And that's hopefully, be a little bit careful. If you push that button right here and breakout groups, it'll end them all. They'll all be transported back to the main room. And they'll all be right there. So it'll immediately, everything will disappear for them, whatever they had in their groups. And I hope that's helpful.